So how are you relating it to the I group?
You know what? Let me talk about the I group. First of all, as someone who is practicing politics, there are people who take advantage of the relationship they have with the government. That's when they were in opposition. My brother, to misbehave.
We supported you in your primaries, and so certainly.
Even in my own constituency, there are people who, because of their relationship with the party, they show signs of misdemeanor. They try to misbehave sometimes. And as a leader, I go the extra mile to put them in check. Because when they misbehave, because they are known to be associated with Dr. Oko-Boye or the party, the negative reportage will come to me. Right? I get what I'm saying.
Right.
Now, this I group, their operation or history of having met and operated at the Christianborg
the castle.
My brother, right, it's unacceptable. It is a grave error that shouldn't have existed. But because I appreciate how politics is done in this country, I'm not surprised that somebody who was related to us managed to bring people there under the guise of giving them a job. Now, another revelation that national security was engaging them, trying to get them out, tells you that we knew them. And honestly, they were treated with kid's glove because of their relationship with us. But you see, the leniency with which we dealt with them is bringing us all this, how do you call it, negative reportage. We have to quickly learn our lessons. Governments must make sure that they are very strict and firm in dealing with party people who try to create their own turf because of the relationship they have with us. Even in Ledzokuku, sometimes you see somebody behaving like, look, I'm a security, when they have no locus. So, right, look, you remember those guys who tried to fight for President Atamils, may so rest in peace, in Cape Coast when they met before security. Those gentlemen were trying to, they behave like they love President Mills than anybody. When President Mills came, you think they were working unemployed. They got something to do. Unfortunately, I have said it, because we have a system where people sometimes don't trust the police. They work with individuals who they think protect them. When they come to power, they want to give them a space to operate. As we grow as a country, the police must assert itself so that security within political parties, they become more irrelevant.
How do we stop what you've just explained?
Yeah.
How do we stop it? And so
yeah.
people who find themselves associated with certain political parties, certain political figures, now that person is in power and that person is misbehaving. How do we stop?
I think the first point of call is to have very strict codes of conduct for those who start working with us, not in government, even in opposition. Codes of conduct. You know, most of these guys that politicians will work with, there's no guidelines dictating their behavior. So sometimes most of them are impulsive. Let me not say some of them are impulsive. Look, I've dealt with people who are very disciplined when I was in opposition. I still work with them. Very disciplined guys. They take serious instructions. They try to make sure that they assist you so that nobody harms you. Look, I know gentlemen too. In fact, one particular guy who is very disruptive. He's been working with us. In fact, he was active in the party before I joined. Very disruptive guy. Has the propensity to misbehave. And most of the time, I spend a lot of energy trying to bring him under control. This is obviously a guy who has a tendency to bring us into a negative light. So the point I make is that the first point is to have codes of conduct. The second point is to make it clear to them that the fact that you work with the political party does not mean that the state is indebted to you and give you a job. We must be clear on these things. And we must be honest in telling them that we'll do our best to find them job, not necessarily in government. If now I have one person who works with me in the constituency, not all the time. When I'm going around, I give him something every month. I put him on more or less a salary, about 500 a month. I mean, he's cool. Anytime I'm going to a place where I don't have to go alone, maybe in the evening and all that, I work with him. You get what I mean? These are ways we can tell them we will assist you. The 500 a month is better than nothing. He's not saying that, Doc, take me to national security. You get what I mean? Now, the second point of call, my brother, I don't want to say this country, we talk a lot and we are not real. But right, see, this is a country where the #1 policeman must be appointed by the sitting president. This is a country where beyond major in the army, all other positions must go to Jubilee House to be vetted before you get, promotions. How can you be a country like that with such regulations and still come out and say that, why is the police not acting? So I've said it before, that the 1992 Constitution might have had good intentions for security of the state, for making sure there is this connection between the executive and the security corpus. But right, as we grow, we must make sure that the police is independent. The IGP himself, the #1 policeman, unconsciously, he's indebted to whoever sits as president. Why don't you have an arrangement where to become the IGP, there is an independent body. This body is a structural body set up by an act. You have, let's say, the Christian Council having a rep, Ghana Bar with a rep, GPRT with a rep, an unbiased independent group. That takes applications for policemen who think that they are fit to become IGPs.
They can lead the police service.
Right. If I've applied to become IGP and my power is not coming from a politician and I have a safe tenure of 4 or 5 years, if you misbehave as a politician on the road, I can get you and put you through the law. No fears. But we have a situation where even the constitution with soldiers, look, the chief of defense staff, who told you that
all of them,
it's not the soldiers who vote for him. So this is a country, we speak a lot. Where are the lawyers? You, the journalists.
Who has to start changing that?
All of us. We have something referred to as stakeholders.
We have leadership.
Every organization has stakeholders.
Which of our leaders should kickstart the process?
Unfortunately for you, I want to study leadership. Leadership is a function of 3 factors.
Who has to start the process?
I'm coming. Leadership is a function of 3 factors. 1, the leader. 2, the followers, in this case the citizens. And 3, the situation, which is the condition in this country. All of us must be active. You can start. I can start. Anybody can start. The most important thing is that we must be active. Active means that we must speak like the way we've discussed this. The more we speak about this, the more politicians will be pushed to do something. The more lawyers will come up with proposals. The more the legislature, which I belong to, will look at possible legislation to handle these issues. The I group are being arrogant because of the history we had. And this time, we have to be strict and firm with them. And you know what puts me off mostly? They even were taking money from those they claimed they were going to help. If you want to help a citizen to get a job, do you go and operate at the Christian Bar Council?
All right.
When
we come back,
let me end with this.
Okay.
The last time when I spoke about vigilantism, I ended with this same thing. President Kufuor has worked hard to bring on board some very powerful programs. The free SHS costs an average 1.5 billion Ghana cedis a year. This president has made sure that clearance has been given to over 53,000 health workers in 2 years. It's never happened before. But guess what? All these powerful achievements can be threatened, like they say, the little leaks that can sink the ship. By this, I don't want to use the word funny, by these guys who think that they work more than anybody when we're in opposition. We must deal with them in a very strict manner and make sure that we preserve the gains we've made.
I'm grateful. He's a member of parliament for the Ledzokuku Constituency, a member of the NPP. I'm still waiting for